All right. So, new game. Demon the Descent. The Splintered City. It's autumn. And the camera swoops in over a rainy Seattle, a day like any other in the Pacific Northwest. And it swoops around, settles on a bar. This would be the Sour Patch, I believe it was, the sort of unofficial hangout of our heroes, question mark. It's a semi-Irish bar with trappings of an Irish bar, I think, and it's a fairly early in the evening. I'd say we're talking 6, and there's not a lot of customers in yet. But the back room is occupied by our protagonists. Behind the scratched ass billiard table and the sort of game machines, you have the staff only back room where we find 3 individuals seated around a circular table. The room is dimly lit. There's a strong waft of beer and other beverages, as this kind of doubles as a storage room most of the time, especially when there's a lot of product coming in. But we have our protagonists, Miss Street, we have Mr. Nightingale, we have Mixed Wash. In whichever covers you are wearing currently, let's go around the table actually as the camera pans in and sort of crosses each of you. Let's start with, as I'm looking at my screen here, Mr. Street. Would you please give us a short description of the cover that you're wearing?
Indeed, Street is currently in his cover of Caden Bell, a private investigator. He looks sort of mid to late 20s. He's got a little bit of stubble. His hair's a little bit messed up. He's wearing like a battered sort of second-hand like brown leather jacket tied at the waist. He's wearing like a shirt underneath, but it's obviously like seen better days. You know, he looks like he's made an attempt to like dress like he's ready for business, but obviously times aren't quite so good in the old PI business, so he looks a bit sort of frazzled. They think sort of like early Dresden or sort of Constantine out of like the TV series. He looks like he has a little bit of that vibe going on.
Washed up PI.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mr. Nightingale.
Why, thank you, Cogmaster, Cognoser. Mr. Nightingale, he's a youngish lad, kind of sat on a chair, you know, with his legs up, almost like a praying mantis, kind of leaning in, you know, elbow on his knee, listening to the others. He has a kind of a cigarette behind one of his ears. He's got kind of a shaved head, apart from the central, which is like kind of a rough, dark hair, looking pensive. Has a kind of a obscure band name on a tee. You can see that either it's not been washed properly or maintained, but the arms are kind of cut off, and it's just kind of almost like falling apart. Wearing some loose jeans. He's got kind of a piercing gaze as he looks down at the table with him.
And last, we have Mixed Wash.
So Wash is in their cover as Maria, who appears as a late teens, early 20s, Latina, long dark brown hair, dark eyes, very athletically built. She's sort of dressed in a denim jacket at the moment with tight jeans, comfortable shoes. She works the Sour Patch, so right now she's kind of flitting back and forth between paying attention to the conversation around the table and watching out front because, well, she's not the only bartender here. She's not technically supposed to be working right now. She just kind of come in under the cover of doing something in the back for later on in the week. This is not her normal operating. She should be someone else right now doing other things, but apparently this meeting had to happen now, so
it did.
Here we
it did.
are.
And it was indeed Mixed Wash that called it together. And that is because earlier you received to Mr. Singh a message from an ostensibly anonymous number that you know to be a contact of yours, maybe the contact of yours, the more or less the best quote unquote friend you've made in Seattle as a group of recently unchained. And the contact calls itself Dozen Dimes. So however you have this individual in your various contacts, appliances, that's the name they've given to you to call them by. So Dozen Dimes earlier today sent a message to Mr. Singh that it follows the usual kind of protocol that Dozen Dimes operates with when there's need for communication. It's a short message which does have quite a lot of text, but the idea is simple. You need to order food. This is how the communication happens. So you need to order tonkatsu ramen and vegetable gyoza from Sushi Express, and you need to order lamb biryani from Big Raja, both of these places in the International District. And you need to order delivery from both of these places at the same time to an address that you got from the message, and it's an address in the International District. You think it's like a parking lot of a store, maybe, from what you remember. And well, what this means is there's a message that Dozen Dimes wants to give you. And usually it doesn't need to happen on the day. It's gonna happen today, is what the message tells you. Like, order this today, like by 8 p.m. which indicates an uncharacteristic hurry in how Dozen Dimes usually operates.
So I would have conveyed this already at this stage of our conversation to the others. And then immediately upon finishing my description, I would say, this is probably a trap. He's probably compromised. We should probably consider dumping our phones, maybe even changing our identities. That sounds about right now.
If it is indeed a trap, we might already be compromised if he knows that we tend to meet up to discuss these matters. Perhaps we should adjourn elsewhere.
He doesn't know about Maria, as far as I'm aware. He only knows about my other identity, so we should be okay here for a little while.
I kind of look around to see who's listening and sort of lean in. I can't, not yet, man. I gotta stay in this skin for a little while longer. I got stuff to do.
I don't like the tone. If we can even have a tone.
Maybe they're just being cautious like us.
Yes, but his urgency, or their urgency, is uncharacteristic.
I take out,
Uncharacteristic isn't good in our line of work.
I take out a cigarette and light it, and then say, "You're right. It's any change in the normal method of doing things is cause for concern. It's not like our friend to be this urgent or this immediate."
Yeah, I'll since he's lighting a cigarette, I'll sort of pull one from behind me, even see if he'll spot me. And then yeah, yeah. Oh, man, you're the one that said we needed friends in this game.
Yes, but not if it risks exposing us completely.
Anything we do is a risk.
Well, the way I see it, we have two choices. We either follow the instructions and see what happens, or we refuse to follow the edicts, but then of course we'll have no idea what is going on.
Well, if we're gonna go, I'm not gonna go looking like this. I'll tell you that. I'm not gonna expose the one cover I reasonably know is not known to him.
To be fair, you're the one's
What
color.
he doesn't know, he can't tell anyone.
Indeed, not if we're going to this meeting. I will likewise effect a change of clothing before we.
So is that what we would like to do then? We should make that choice now. I'm just taking inventory story might not hold up much longer, especially with the two of you back here. And I already have enough rumors swirling around me in this place. I don't need to add to them.
I can't shift. This is all I got for now.
Well, might I
I
suggest a
haven't,
hoodie?
I haven't found one I like.
perhaps?
It's not just. I don't know how you guys do it. You gotta
Well,
fancy. You gotta
Marita
find
is
something.
custom job. Thank you very much.
You have to show me how you do it.
Well,
I'd be
listen.
glad to.
Listen again. There's two possibilities. This is either something we need to know about, or it's a trap. In which case, we also need to know about it, because we need to know whether our friend has been compromised.
And what he's told them.
Indeed. So I would suggest that we go ahead, we place the order, but we prepare ourselves for the fact that we may have to evacuate the premises, so to speak.
No, if it comes out of having to get up close and personal, at least we're together, right? Then we got a chance. We got a shot.
So, as far as you know, the method is sound. Like, this is how it happens, and you need to be at the location to pick up the delivery that you order. That's sort of where you get the message itself.
Look, let's not beat around the bush, guys. Let's get into brass tacks. If one or more of us has to go and actually collect this information, as per usual, which of us, should everything go a bit pear-shaped, which of us is capable of getting out there quickest?
Well, when we can all flee at speed if need be. I'd rather not have to expose our other selves only if necessary. But we can all escape if need be. But if this is a trap, then we should all be there. Whatever is going to pounce on us, no one of us alone could handle. We should all be at least some of us should be in wait.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Spring our own trap if necessary.
Agreed. I go perfectly still for a second, unnaturally still, and at current diagnostics, I have a way to get it out if it really came to it, but I wouldn't use it lightly.
Yes, same as mine, and I believe Mr. Street has similar facilities. Well, if we're going to go, we should go and get this over with.
Yeah.
I do have other things to do.
Yeah, but place the order, Wash, and we will all go together and see what happens.
All
So
right.
you send the order to Sushi Express and Big Raja to order these specific dishes, and I suppose if there's preparations you guys want to get up to.
The only
Okay.
thing that I would want to do is, and that's just is a great question to ask since this is our all of our first time playing this game. When we transition between covers, I imagine almost as like like a Superman moment where you go through a door as Maria, come out as Basker Singh, for example.
Yeah.
That's
It's
kind
a
of how I'm
glitch in the
imagining
Matrix,
leaving the
mate.
bar. I'm gonna I'll wave to the staff and that I know and all that sort of thing. And as I exit the door, I transition from being Maria to being Basker.
The requirements for changing cover are no one's looking, but if
Right.
no one's looking, it's instantaneous.
Got it. Right. So I imagine that split second between being inside and outside. I think it's like that,
Just gotta go to
changing
the
moment in
bathroom.
Superman. Like when he's going through the old style phone booths, kind of a thing. So or the old turnstile doors. So.
My plan would just be to like throw down some change for like whatever drinks we've had, preserve the seeming of normality, walk out of the place, head into like one of the alleyways like around the back of the pub, make sure there's like no one looking, then I'll sort of like settle myself down into like whatever trash and like cardboard boxes is like out the back. If there's a dumpster, I'll just like make sure there's no one around, I'll just jump into the dumpster.
Get in the dumpster?
Get in the dumpster, because I'm assuming your clothes change when you change.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll basically get in the dumpster, like pull the lid down, also make sure there's no one about, pull the lid down, then I'll change into my my cover as Morgan. So I'll climb out of the dumpster looking like this trash-strewn sort of like gin bottle holding like big beardy old man with like a big like tattered wide-brimmed hat on, like this horribly like stained like coat on.
Nightingale in his current cover, Zach Kavanagh, he goes up to the bar with the glasses, kind of hands them back to the waitress, kind of gives her a little hug, as we've been here a few times, picks up a few matches as his cigarette's nearly out, and sort of walks out, stops, goes back, grabs his jacket, then goes out and starts heading to the location, because this boy's only got one skin.
I imagine I'll sort of like be approaching from round the corner of like the alleyways, looking like this scrubby old man as Nightingale's coming out, and I'll be like, yeah, spare a smoke, mate.
Sort of give him a look over, roll my eyes slightly, and give him a smoke, light it for him,
Right. Preparations have been made. Shall we jump forward to the International District?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so basically a couple hours later, in the International District, you find yourselves in, it's kind of like an area between two blocks, and each of the sort of this side of each of the blocks is more or less a combination of just wasteland or parking lot / staging area for some operation on another side of the block. So it's a bit of an open area in that regard, but it's like cracked pavement, weeds pushing out through the cracks, that kind of spot. And there's a couple of cars parked for workers in the various businesses here. There's a couple of cars which you immediately pick up because it's in your nature to pick up the details like this. There's a couple of trucks, white trucks with like almost like a clip art vegetable icon there, and it's just like Seattle produce, and that seems to you like, well, that's awfully generic and nondescript. And there's a couple of cars like that there as well, which you pick up. You don't pick up any like, oh, that's there's no nothing to your enhanced senses that you pick up, but your suspicion goes off immediately on those. But where are you stationed in this sort of? It's like an alley, but then there's parking lots, so it's kind of like an open alley.
So I imagine, as we were going to the location, we had to discuss this, but to be clear, since Singh was the one who received the message, Singh volunteers to be the bait. So Wash will be, I presume we're going to order it to come through the parking lot. So I assume I'm standing out in the parking lot nearest the alley. So in case I want to try to like book it, kind of a thing, but not quite out in the open, but out in the open enough that they can see me if they want. So that sort of thing.
So you're basically not hiding.
I'm not hiding, but I would have suggested that the others do.
I'm going to station myself in like a nearby alley that like oversees the area, and I'm just going to sort of like adopt my cover. So I just sort of like some like vagrant who's like lying there with like a bottle with like half a like sort of wet like dog end of the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, like
yeah. So Mr. Street, I guess, is on the other side of the street, looking here. What about Mr. Nightingale?
I was thinking if there's any other vans about that I could like just break into one.
Well, there's the Seattle Produce one. There's
the
cars
very suspicious one.
There's cars around for sure. A couple of vans, which are the produce ones.
Okay, that looks a bit too generic, possibly.
Yeah, they're identical as well, like stark white, clip art, vegetable, like Times New Roman Seattle Produce.
It's not giving off a vibe or anything like
that.
No,
you don't pick up any let's say extra normal things. But as you are conditioned to your new lives, you just pick up this like, oh, two identical, spotless white, generic vehicles. Like, what is this now?
Yeah, I'll just take like a block over kind of thing. I'll go across from where Miss Street is, and just kind of hang about in a nondescript way if I can.
Right. Are you going into any businesses? There's like I want to say there's like a car stereo like sound system store, and there's probably like a cafe.
Yeah, if there's a cafe,
like a
yeah. I'll go to the cafe and just chat to the punters there about how music's changed over the last few decades, and
Right. So you go chat up at the cafe. Is this meant to be like a place where you can see the where Mr. Singh is?
Yeah, so it's got like an outdoor bit, like because this city has like those little usually has like 3 or 4 seats outside.
Yeah.
And I'll just sit down, put my feet up on the opposite chair so no one kind of blocks my view, and
so the waiter comes over. It's like a middle-aged man. He's the only one operating there currently. He's got a little apron on with the cafe logo on the corner, and it's like, so what can I get you?
Just get me a black coffee, please.
Okay.
It's gonna be a long night.
I make a mean cake.
I always enjoy a mean cake. Yeah, just give me whatever you think appeals to you. Surprise me.
Well, I like all of it, but yeah, I'll pick something. And he goes in, he starts, getting your stuff. He brings you a slice of chocolate cake to go with your coffee.
Ooh.
Right. So, Mr. Singh, clock strikes. I presume you're there early because you would be.
I'm always 15 minutes early.
Yeah, so clock strikes 8, which is
that's what on time means.
This is supposed. Yeah, it's like around here we're on time. So clock strikes 8, and as soon as it does, there's a person on a bicycle that turns from the street onto the alley where you're sort of set up waiting for the delivery, and it's a thin, almost like too thin. It's kind of like this dude's like losing muscle mass, almost like you're like looking awfully thin, wearing bike trunks, a biking shirt. Basically, dude looks like a
Deliveroo.
Yeah. He looks like he really enjoys biking. He's got the legs for it as well. You notice immediately, like he's thin, but his legs are very much conditioned to do the bike run, and he's got the equipment. He's got a big box at his back, and helmet on, he's got a trucker cap underneath the helmet with a. I don't think actually it has any. It's got like a sports. Yeah, it's the what Seattle Seahawks.
Mariners.
Is it?
Mariners. Seahawks. There you go.
Yeah,
yeah. Seahawks are football. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got the Seahawks cap on and like bikes there. You notice as he comes closer, it's a fairly old man. Like there's no like he doesn't have long hair, but you can spot from the stubble that he has. It's all gray, so it's a bit of an older lad, but he's like gives you the up nod and like slows down over there. He's like, it's you with the deliveries, two meals, Big Russia Sushi Express.
Yes.
Right, you paid up front, right?
I did. Thank you.
Yep. So he slings over the box and gets you the two white plastic bags. And,
I approach him sort of at an angle, and I reach out only with one arm.
Yeah.
I keep all my weight, centered so that I can't be pulled. And
I imagine as you're doing that sort of in the alleyway across, like under my sort of ragged coat, I'll be like cocking my gun just in case like stuff gets real.
And I do take the food, and then as I shift feet and wait, and I, with my other hand, hand him a tip.
Yeah. So he takes the tips like, you're very kind, sir. Sorry. And he has a fanny pack on. He puts the money in there and he takes out the receipts for both of these because it's two different restaurants. So he hands over the receipts and it's like, here you go.
Thank you.
And it says, yep. First on the barcode as usual. See you next time. Be careful. And gets on his bike, slings the box back, and starts biking away unless you do something to stop him here.
Now, I presume from our previous relation with Dozen Dimes that was a normal interaction with. I'm presuming that was Dozen Dimes or one of his agents.
You presume that was, yes.
So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to immediately duck into the alley. I'm just going to put the food to the side, and they don't really care about it, obviously. And I'm going to examine the barcodes as instructed.
So,
as he's doing that and he's walking away with the paper, I am going to, let's say, in like ancient Japanese, I'm just going to go, all clear.
As I dip into the alleyway, I do one of these moves in his direction.
Yeah, I'll like, uncock my gun and like, slide it back into my coat.
So you would know that the way these kinds of messages, and so far these have been the only kinds of messages, aside from talking directly to Dozen Dimes, but Dozen Dimes has several covers, so you're never actually sure.
We never know who he is or where he is, right?
But it's the way that it works is you take the barcode of a receipt, and then you take the first number of the barcode, and you use that to determine the first letter from the second receipt that let's say the first number is 7. So you take the 7th letter from the second receipt, and that's your first letter. So that's the key to deciphering it. You run through the barcode numbers and you pick letters from the receipts, and that spells out the message for you. So yeah, you've done it a number of times. So I imagine you can probably do it without having to write it down by now, but yeah, you can decipher the message here by looking at the receipts, and it is while this is happening, because this takes a bit, because it's quite
takes
complex.
A few minutes
to do this cross-referencing. So Mr. Street and Nightingale, what are you doing while this is happening?
I'm basically, whilst he's doing that and he's giving me the all clear, I'm like, well, we know this process of deciphering it, and we know we can do it fairly quickly, but it's not instantaneous.
Yep.
So I know that he's going to be looking down at the receipt. So whilst he's doing that, I'm sort of just shifting my field of vision just to like keep an eye out for anything that looks vaguely suspicious, so that if anything does start happening, I can like shout a warning or give him a warning while he's looking at that, so he doesn't get taken unawares.
Like the creepy trucks, for example.
Yeah, I'll definitely be like keeping half an eye on them. I must admit I'm fighting the urge at the minute just to like see if I can sense any like angelic interference from it, but I'm trying to avoid it unless absolutely necessary because I don't want to like tip our hand.
Nightingale, you've got coffee, you've got cake.
I'm enjoying my cake. Might as well. It's much more expensive than I'd usually get, but on the job and everything, I'm sure Wash should cover it if it comes.
It's
to it.
expenses, right? Like
yeah,
you can...
expenses. It's part of the. It's a. I'm looking for seeing those trucks turn up or anything. Like to see, for example, if another delivery person turns up with a similar looking order, like as if that wasn't their actual thing.
Not really, no.
No,
There's no other. Currently, there's no other like bike careers.
I tell you what, I am going to do. Obviously, I've got like my PI contacts, and we've established by the questions that I know like someone at the local PD. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use like my mobile phone. I'm going to basically obviously still pretending to be my detective cover. I'm going to Caden Bell. I'm going to sort of send a text message to like my receptionist, and basically say, "Oh, can you see if you can run me up any information on these number plates?" And like give them like the number plates off the vans.
Yep. So that'll take a bit.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait 5 minutes and then pay my bill, tip, and then just sort of casually walk in the direction of where I think Wash is.
So when you turn, like you pay and you turn to go, it's like, hey, so and this is where I would like for you to either determine what your band shirt is actually about, or shall I do that?
I'll let you do it in this case.
Okay.
Make it
So-
surprise me.
So it's like, hey, so are you a longtime fan of Death Rattle?
Well, it's I'd say I'm more of an a quick learner. Hasn't been as long as I'd like, but they really spoke to me.
Speaking is a word for it, I guess, says he, chuckling. Yeah, I used to be, you wouldn't believe it now, baking cakes and whatnot, but I used to be cool too when I was younger.
We can't all be cool. It's a phase for some people. For others, it just is.
Mm.
I understand, man. Shake his hand.
Yeah.
Never give up on the rattle.
Yeah, he loves and shakes your hand. Like, say, are they still playing?
I believe so. They haven't. Been a while since they've done a world tour. World's been a bit of a mess lately, but yeah, I believe so. They're still together.
Right. Yeah.
I heard, I heard they had a bit of controversy with the thing.
The thing.
The thing.
What thing are we talking about here?
Well, I'm just trying to see if he knows it. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm kinda
he
like,
clearly doesn't. He's like,
yeah. Oh,
what?
yeah. Where they came out with those limited edition Death Rattle ducks, meant to be a Christmas gift, but
what?
it's meant to be like a joke, but yeah, it got misrepresented as a kid's toy, and when the media got hold of it,
Kids toy?
yeah, black duck with luminous red eyes. It didn't go down too well.
Man, I wish when music was. I remember when music was about music.
Same. Sometimes music should speak to you. It should elevate you. It should take you from yourself and have make you feel something. Kind of say oh, this is like I'm not really talking to the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. There's plenty of bands like that down in Seattle. If you want to If you maybe not of death rattle status, but
Well, you in the promotion business?
not exactly. But I'm in the scene more or less.
Okay. Well, my kid's about to graduate from college, and then I'll kick their ass to the curb. So they're going to be a bit more free. Where do I go and see a show these days? if I decide to get wild after buying my Harley, and he starts laughing at his own joke.
Well, Harleys are not a requirement anymore. Things have moved on a little bit since then.
Well, thank Christ, because those are expensive. I don't make enough with cakes.
Yeah, well, there's some places downtown, on the outskirts.
Well, any places you can recommend? For an old schooler.
Yeah, there's a place called the Tavern. Well, its full name's like the Tractor Tavern.
Okay.
A little there.
He takes out a little notepad
Yeah.
and is like, Tractor Tavern. Okay.
If rock and roll is your kind of thing, we've all got our vibe.
Oh yeah, I used to be into all that shit back in the day. It's been a while though.
That's how the man gets you, man. It takes you away from it.
Street.
Just as a quick point of information, can I, from my position, can I hear any of this flagrant pumping for information that's going on?
Yeah.
This guy who's rocked up and he's like,
alley across the street. I can't hear shit.
This guy who's rocked up and he's like, I know you don't really know me, but could you just like tell me everything
Tell me
about
my
yourself?
story. Tell
and,
me everything about you.
where you gather, got any friends? Anyone I should know about? Any secrets that you're hiding?
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I've also got to pretend to be a hip early 20s dude, haven't I? So
Doing a fabulous job.
thanks, Vic. That's obviously not
I'm
my normal forte, but thank you.
I guess at the very least you would be around the corner.
Yeah.
So maybe not outright, but if you want to make the first roll of the game,
yeah, boy. Can I suggest a wits investigation roll? Would that
sounds
be okay?
good. Sounds
This
good.
is Detective Homeless guy.
Well, I have wits investigation in both my covers, so
Yeah, we haven't quite gotten to the sophistication where you've divided up abilities and
what I
covers and
mean?
things. Yeah.
Yeah, which
These
is
are basic characters. We don't have like 30 XP to play around with.
All right, okay, that
Fuck
didn't
me.
work. The roller didn't work.
Okay.
Did you click on the sheet roll on the actual thing? Because you've got to click it to get it to.
Yeah, I tried that. It's all right. I'll work it out later. I'll just roll the number of d10s I've got.
Yep.
So it's 5, right? Okay.
I've just seen John's messages. It's a trap.
I wish I had Akbar on hand right now, but I didn't. So.
1-8, so 1 success.
1. Okay. I guess you hear Nightingale talking. Really, is the.
That's
long and
fine. In
short
which
of
case,
it.
I won't take any further action because I'm assuming he's just like blending in.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. No, Oh shit, man! I gave all my band shirts to my little guy.
You got to pass the torch on one day. I understand, man. It's just don't give up the rattle within you.
Well, hey. Maybe I'll take a look. The Tractor Tavern. One of these days.
That's one of the up and coming. It's not what I'd say that it's not got the kind of the most underground music, but it's got a mixture of some of the newer stuff and like some of the established bands. It's got enough notoriety where you might get some bands from outside of town coming in. It's a good starting point.
All right. Okay. Well, I guess I'll thank you for your business. I guess I'll catch you at the Tractor Tavern.
All right, and thanks again for the cake. Good
Yeah,
choice.
no problem.
I'll give him like a fist bump.
Yeah.
And grab my jacket and just sort of walk off like.
Yeah, he's like.
Yeah.
And you hear the sound system because it's tuned to like a generic radio station blasting list music, You hear him fiddling with it as you exit, and it goes on to a local station with some like hardcore stuff on it. And there's the aggressive drum beats play you out as you.
Right on, man. Right on.
As you
Not any
leave.
of this hipster ding, 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 whatever the hell they playing in Seattle nowadays.
It's all about the music, man. It's all about the music.
I guess no. Let's revise. So he like crosses over the hardcore stuff, and I guess he settles on like classic rock metal station, which starts playing Nirvana.
Oh, there you go.
So
Yeah.
as you exit,
Smells
it's
like Teen Spirit. There you go.
it's like as you exit, it's like come as you are.
I'm like, close enough.
Great pick. Great pick.
Right. So you leave Mr. Street. Of course, you see Nightingale again here. And Wash, you've decoded this number letter sequence thing that lets you know what the message is. And basically, the key to this is just figuring out which number corresponds to which letter, and then just keep going until it turns to like garbled nonsense. And you have indeed done that. So the heart of it is, what Dozen Dimes is saying is that a stigmatic asset has likely been flipped by the enemy and is planning a terror strike on a local radio station for some reason. Infrastructure, ? And there's a name there as well, which is Gabriel Ryan. And you know that from the apartment building because Gabriel Ryan lives there. And there's the message further lets you know that the radio station is KLFC, one of the local ones, Seattle based. And I think it ends with the, time tomorrow midnight. And that's the contents of the message.
Right. So I keep a lighter. I don't smoke, but I keep a lighter.
Mm-hmm.
My friends smoke, and it comes in handy for situations like this. I will go to a nearby dumpster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to light both receipts on fire. I'm going to let them burn a little bit, start to whittle away, and then I'll dump them in the garbage. I'll make sure that they're not setting any fires.
Yep.
I don't want a scene here. And then I'm going to casually walk out of the alley. I'm going to kind of flick my gaze over in Street's direction and just do one of these moves, and I'm just going to keep walking. Presumably, we know where to meet in a safe environment after this particular part of the op. So.
Yeah, and Streets, those places don't exist.
Oh,
No safe place.
okay. I understand. So what I'm going to do is, as I've seen the nod from Wash, I'm going to sort of wait in the alleyway for a bit until Wash is just out of sight. Then I'm going to message him, a text message. The message is going to be in French, and it's going to say, checked number plates do not exist. And then there's going to be like a thumbs down emoji at the end of it.
I'll stop, and I'm presuming I've just rounded a corner, so I'm in the same, relatively close. I'll text back in Swahili. Should we leave it or go or take care of it?
I'll reply back in German and I'll say, suggest leave area, but investigate matter of message. And then it will say, like, will advise Nightingale to leave. Well, it would say, will advise N to leave area and meet
Just
at
casually
rendezvous
walking down the
point
street.
3.
Like, Saturday Night Fever style.
Yeah, and I'll text you in some other random language, basically
Yeah.
saying possible complication, leave area, rendezvous point 3.
I've got that young, cool, hip guy kind of swagger.
Then I'm going to head out the other end of the alleyway, doing my, like, drunken old man, like, stagger, like, drinking my hooch, phones away, in my, like, stained coat, like, walking out, and then I'm going to just sort of, like, stagger and take, like, a very sort of roundabout route, make sure I'm not followed, and then sort of head to, like, rendezvous point 3 via a different route.
So unless there's different points you want to stop at, we can be at rendezvous point number 3.
Yeah, they're just gonna. I mean, obviously eyes on the swivel, but other than that, if we don't say anything odd following us, then I'm just gonna head
I'll
right to the
stop at
rendezvous.
like on those retro. It's now retro vinyl stores, and like just peruse for a few minutes, just to like make it look like I have a reason where I'm not just going to a secret place. I'm shopping. I'm looking at things. I'm enjoying the city.
I'm going to do a few things like like double backing. I'll probably see if I can go into like a public lavatory or something like that and like leave out of the window. Just general stuff to like try and drop anyone who's tailing me, and I'll be keeping like an eye out for like anyone who seems to be like following me or paying unusual attention.
My path will just simply be because I'm dressed as if I'm out for a jog, so I'll just do that actually, and because Sing's a bit of a runner, so he'll just jog in a circuitous route, make sure there's no tails, and then head to the drop.
I'll look for like while I'm in these shops like local band lists, like where they advertise for gigs and stuff, and like write a few band names down. Say I'm looking for work, so gotta maintain that cover, boys. And I'll make my way to rendezvous point 3. Where is rendezvous 3? Have we pre-established this?
I would imagine it would be a public area,
Yeah.
but somewhere where we could find a little privacy to talk. So perhaps like a park or
I was going to say
shopping center.
If it's one I've arranged, which I assume it was because I mentioned it, it'll probably be near like, because it's with my current cover, it'll probably be near like a sort of soup kitchen or something like that.
That's perfect. Yeah,
there's lots of people around.
Yeah,
lots of just like normal people. Anyone like myself, I'll blend in because I look like a homeless guy. Anyone else who's around, I'll assume they're just helping out. They're volunteers.
That's
so
right.
It's nice and sort of covered. We don't look too suspect. And if anyone sees like me talking to them, they'll just assume that like some volunteers are like helping out a person who's down on their luck.
We're there.
So, those trucks.
Seemed a bit generic to me.
Well, Mr. Street, did you not inform our friend here?
No, it didn't seem necessary. We're all, I'll tell you now, I had them checked out, didn't I? Nah, the license plates don't even exist. Ain't on the system.
Which means they're probably from our old friends.
Could be.
I don't know if I like having to do what we are going to have to do next with possible surveillance
In the area.
tracking us.
Well, I took my time getting here and like double back and that. I didn't notice anyone spotting me or following me.
You know how our old friends are. They're very crafty.
Yeah.
Can we take this inside somewhere?
I just sort of like gesture and like head into like the sort of soup, the building where the soup kitchen out of.
Very good.
And I'll make a big show as we walk in of like basically like scrounging a cigarette off Nightingale, So like anyone like over here, so
Two?
I'll just see like an old man.
Another already?
Just see an old man.
I'll offer him a light from my lighter as well.
I'll be like, oh, cheers, governor, cheers. Oh, you're a gent.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank
my
you.
hands are a bit shaky in my old age. Would you mind? And I'll sort of like
Not an
pretend I
issue,
can't
not an
light
issue.
it properly. And I'm like,
I just
All
light
right,
that for him.
Don't. I'll stay you.
oh yeah, that's a good ship. And then like basically like find a table, do a bit of like generic like conversation, like these two like, oh how'd you find yourself down on your luck and that. So it sounds like they're sort of like talking to me or whatever, and then have a quick look, see around, make sure like no one seems to be listening in. Then like lean a bit closer, lower the voices and like the volume, probably switch into a different language. I imagine.
Yeah, as you say, I'm going to switch into Old Aramaic.
I suggest what we do. I mean, obviously we don't need to go into all the different
Do
all
we
the
get a
different
prize?
languages.
We've got through all the languages. Do we get a prize?
Achievement unlocked. So
Achievement.
I will highlight that your natural aptitude covers every language that is currently in use. Aramaic, ancient Aramaic is not.
Oh, well, that's right. Okay, you're right. That is a good
Yeah.
caveat.
So in
well,
native
more
use,
in,
sorry,
um,
is the
I
qualifying
imagine
thing.
what it's
right.
less important about what language you're doing, but I imagine like each time we say a sentence, we'll switch to a different language
Yep.
because we know that we'll understand it, whatever.
Yeah, it's all.
I'm just
all
not
one.
going to speak anything that I think anyone can speak locally, so no
Yep.
English or Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That sort of thing. So, but I convey to my associates that Dozen Dimes had a message for us. He wants us to stop a stigmatic who has been flipped by our old friends from blowing up a radio station.
They are aggressive recruiters, that's for sure.
Yes, they are nothing if aggressive.
Do we know if there's anything special about this radio station?
He Dozen Dimes thinks perhaps it's an infrastructure, but he doesn't know for sure.
Of course, I will remind you here because it's going to be an incredible asset for you guys. The internet. you can very easily, without breaking any kind of, maybe don't like Google how to make explosives and shit. But
Yeah,
Who is the machine? Oh, damn it.
the only reason I'm
Yeah.
not getting on my mobile phone is because like it'll look a bit sus for like my cover.
Yeah,
if I suddenly
yeah,
pull out an iPhone and like
But obviously, it's the radio station. It's KLFC Seattle.
Yep.
But
thing is,
another
right,
oddity about this whole thing is that he gave me a name for a person who lives in my building.
right.
Everyone's
Gabriel
got to live
Ryan,
somewhere,
one of the tenants. I'm
unless you're on the street.
not overly familiar with Mr. Ryan, but
yeah, you recall that Mr. Ryan hasn't really been there. Like he's checked in,
yeah.
but like for the last year, he's been there maybe once a month, if that.
Right. So he's basically not a common.
Yeah,
Fixture.
spends his time somewhere else. You think he's in real estate.
Right. All I know about Mr. Ryan is that he doesn't stay very much at my building, and that he might be in real estate.
Well, one thing seems a little bit on the weird side to me is if he's working for who we think he's working for, what's his beef with the radio station?
I don't know if it's Ryan who is arranging it, or if he is the one actually carrying out this dastardly act. From my money, this sounds like the perfect cover identity, this Mr. Ryan. He comes very infrequently. He's in real estate, which gets him into all sorts of avenues in the city that that our old friends would love to have access to. But that would be one of our first clues. Of course, we could also always just go to the radio station before midnight tomorrow and prevent it from being destroyed. But we have some time on our hands, so perhaps we should start with Mr. Ryan.
Can we not drop by his apartment since it's near where you naturally are?
Well, I have the key. So,
Well, if we need a bit of background research doing, I know a fellow who can do that for us.
yes, I suggest you return to your fellow, and we can reconvene at my building.
All right, give me a few hours. I'll see what I can find out.
Yeah, Gabriel Ryan. And I'll give him also the full address information and anything else I can recall out of off the top of my head.
Yeah, which is everything because you have.
Because I obviously have
Eidetic
perfect memory. Yeah.
Right, so we'll arrange a time to like rendezvous beforehand. Like
Right.
before
So
the suspects go down.
it's like what, 7 or 8 o'clock right now? It's been a couple
Yeah.
hours.
Yep.
So let's just say like 11. Let's call it, right, and be done with it.
Yeah. So my
I'll
plan.
head back to my building immediately.
Yeah, and whilst he's doing that, I'm gonna head to the alleyways out the back of like the detective sort of HQ where my other cover works. Make sure no one's looking while I'm in the alleyway. Change back into my cover of Caden Bell. Go in through the back door into like my little office, like my little sort of like rubbishy like computer and whatever. And as I go through, I'll thank my secretary for like getting back to me with that information so quickly. And then I'm basically going to sit down at the computer and I'm just going to do like a basic sort of web search, like looking for just publicly available like information about this KLFC Seattle.
Yep.
And I'll be sort of keeping an eye in case the name like Gabriel Ryan comes up. But I'm not going to sort of like just like do mad loads of searches on Gabriel Ryan because that might flag attention.
Yeah. So your secretary basically like you tag in and your secretary is going to leave because it's late and basically holding out the fort until you came home and
I'll be like, yes, sorry about being so late. I got a bit caught up with things, you know how it is. But you have a good night. I'll see you in the morning. Take care.
Leaves. And as you start Googling this, it's very easy to find. They have their own website. It's KLCF 66.5. And their tagline is because we stand close to the fire. Because it's 66.5 and, they're very subtle in their website as well. It's very in your face, somewhere between graphic designer and a conspiracy theorist's, fever dream. It's very, let's say, explosive and sensationalist in presentation and content as well. It seems that their whole deal is kind of to be like the modern version of a conspiracy theorist's news source, as in like conspiracy theories, but make it postmodern and ironic, but maybe not, depending on if you believe us or no. And so they're like, they've got music, but they've also got programming. And there's a program that starts at midnight, which is called Seattle Uncovered, which is like exposés of, the hidden truth of Seattle, the things you don't find out because they're keeping it from you, man. And it's where the people of Seattle can tell with the cover of anonymity the things that the man wants to keep hidden, because the people have a right to know. So that's what they run at midnight. There's less sort of spiky program bits at other times of the day. Generic, weather as well, that kind of stuff. But you pick up on that because that's what the time was in Dozen Dimes' message. And
right, effectively what I'm going to do is, like using like the clip tool on my computer, I'm going to clip out like the pertinent points of that. then effectively like sending like a multimedia like text message.
Yeah.
I'm going to like text those details to my two companions, so they've got like the clip notes version of what I've just found out.
Yep. And you find their location as well. It's in central Seattle. It's let me actually refer to my notes here because I forgot. Yeah, so it's about a block south from the Space Needle. So it's quite, in the thick of it. And it's at the top floor of an apartment building that you got the address for. So that's where the studio is and where they broadcast from.
Yeah, so like I say, obviously I'll make sure that my two companions have got those like pertinent points via text message.
Yep. So they've got programming slated for tomorrow at midnight, the Seattle Uncovered, and it's Men from the Mountains Tell All. Hidden expose of our celestial frenemies. So apparently there's going to be like experts in attendance tomorrow midnight to talk about celestial phenomena that is hidden from public view. Right. So as you're working through this, Mr. Singh gets a call, and it is from. Let me refer to announce it. So it's from Erin Turner, who is the manager for the building. Mm-hmm. So like she's the one in sort of charge of the location at the head office, and she works for an investment company called Clearwater Investments.
So is it Aaron Taylor, you said?
Turner, yeah.
And that was building manager.
Yeah.
And she works for who?
Clearwater Investments, LLC.
Just got to put that in there.
Yeah. So basically, she's the boss of the location itself.
Yeah.
And
she's the one I probably have to call if I want like my expenses paid and money put back into the building, etc. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she calls you, and of course it's quite late at this point in the day. Usually, she's not like, this isn't official
normal
hours.
Operating hours. Yeah.
So you can hear like the sort of annoyance in her voice as well. She says, "Hi, Mr. Singh.
Mr. Turner, good evening.
It's quite late, I realize, but this is
not the problem.
Something that was uncalled for and not really. Well, I'll just get down to it. So there's some problem apparently with one of the tenants, and there's a federal investigation going on, and it's giving me a headache." One second. You can hear like papers. It's 7:07, Ryan.
I see.
So that's there's a federal investigation somehow involving 7:07. So of course they're not going to tell me anything. They will tell you in a bit less. But I called to let you know that eventually they're going to turn up, and they're probably going to want to look into the room. You just make sure they get in as quickly as possible and leave as quickly as possible, preferably through the alley entrance, because we don't want feds coming in and going through the front door. That's not the look we're going for.
See, yes, the Grenfield, of course, is a very exclusive establishment. I understand. Am I asking to see any warrants, or are we just allowing anyone who says they're FBI to come in through the door?
I've got the warrant here. They gave it to me.
I see.
Yeah,
then.
but they gave me like I don't know what they want.
Mhm.
They want to look around,
I
and
see.
we need to keep it on the wraps thing because we can't have the feds turning up at the front door.
Bad for
Really.
business, of course. I
Yeah.
understand.
So whatever it is they want, just give it to them as quickly as possible, and then just you know.
Hmm.
I, I'm
I
sorry
understand,
saying I
Mr. Tony.
don't know when they're gonna turn up. I don't know if they're gonna turn up, at one at night or is gonna be tomorrow first thing in the morning. They wouldn't tell me.
I'll be available. As you know, I live at the building, so I'm easy to find.
Yeah, I guess that's one cross that you have to bear.
Yes, it is. If you would excuse me, I should go prepare for our guests.
Okay. Just be, careful.
I'll
I
be
know that you are, but
discreet.
it's just
Yes, of course.
and you can hear like she's like laying the phone down a bit, like just laying her hand down a bit. It's like I didn't need this in my fucking day.
Yeah, who needs a call from the Phoebes in their life, really? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, not a problem. You should get some sleep, Miss Turner, and I shall.
Yeah.
I'll call you when I have met our friends.
Yeah, if there's a problem, just I have the I'll leave the phone on. So
Fantastic. I shall. Thank you. And I'm just going to hang up, and
Yeah.
I'm going to book it to the building.
yeah.
As I'm running to the building, I'm going to message. I assume we have some sort of group encrypted chat.
Yeah,
that we
probably.
use.
Yeah.
I'll shoot them a message in one of the random languages that we all speak, and be like, "In Bunny Rabbit ears, federal investigators are coming to see Mr. Ryan's room. I'm going in there right now. Meet me at the building ASAP." Because I want to scrub that his apartment before they get a chance to look at it.
You get a message back from me that will just say quickly or instantly ?
Don't draw attention.
Understood.
So yeah, but as quickly as I can get back to the building in a natural form, I will, and I'm going to go right to the room if I can.
So let's make I don't know actually if they have a term for it really here, but let's do what we call a fortune roll. So
Oh, okay.
a D10. Okay. So
Oh, am I rolling it as well?
you don't need to. So
Oh, you're rolling it. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I just rolled it for a thing that I hadn't decided, which I now
I understand what you're saying. I got it.
I
get you.
outsourced the thing to
You're outsourcing it to the dice. I feel that. Yeah. Okay.
I outsourced it to the God machine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's not really good for me.
Yeah, probably not. To be honest, yeah. So yeah, you book it to Greenfield, and so let's talk about the layout a bit. So is there a front desk?
Yeah, so I'm imagining it's one of those like really large, big brown brick buildings, really immaculate grounds, high fences. You have to have keys and codes to get in through both layers of it. Yeah, when you get inside, there's probably a very nicely appointed vestibule or ante area. There might have been there'll be someone at a desk, probably just someone like night security type looking kind of person. Of course, they know me, but of course I'll flash them whatever badge I have that I need to show them. And I'm going to take the stairs, which I imagine like when you come in and it's just a very warmly lit area, white tile. The elevators will be to your left, but before that there'll be a stairwell, and you can kind of go up the stairwell or go through the elevators. I will take the stairs though, all the way to the 7th floor.
Yep. And as you dash into the building, the night watchman is not there at the front desk.
Oh, that's not good. I'm going to stop then before I go up the stairs if I see that, if I notice that, which I would, obviously. I'm going to approach the night desk. I'm going to investigate it. I just want to take a quick look. I just want to see if he's just wandered off to use the bathroom, or
The cameras are probably there if you got cameras in the building.
yeah,
So
obviously
he's
cameras
probably got the board
yeah.
there. So
yeah. Okay, so I'll take a quick gander at the board. If he's not passed out behind it or underneath the table or anything like that, if he's not there.
No, he's not there. So
I'll take a quick gander at the board. Yeah.
so he's on the 7th floor, and he's accompanied by 3 gentlemen in black suits, and they're standing in front of 707, and the night watchman is sort of like doing this.
like he's stressed,
like
or
he's
confused.
explaining something like exasperated to one of the suit guys.
When I look at the men in the suit in the camera, do I notice anything strange?
Not really, no.
There's really nothing I can sense or try to detect from where I am, I'm assuming, right? Because we're obviously 7 floors down.
Yeah, the thing is as well, like everyone who you would like to pick up from a distance kind of has to set up some flags for you to detect, no matter who it is. Like that's the awful thing about all of this is like, your friends and your enemies.
I have to kind of provoke them
invisible
before
until they.
Yeah, we're all invisible to each other until we're provoked, essentially, right? Okay. 1 second, I want to check one thing on my sheet.
So while you're doing that, Street and Nightingale, you've got your own arrangements, which I've read here. So that's all good to go.
Yep. So as I say, getting a taxi to a building on an adjoining street, pay the taxi driver, head into the false building I've arrived at. When the taxi pulls off and disappears around a corner, leave that building, walk over a street to the actual building that we're going to.
Yep. So are you going into the apartment building of Wash?
What I'll do is I'll probably stop at the door and I'll send Wash a text, which will just say, like, @ main entrance.
Right. I'm gonna tell him how to get to the. I'm presuming there's going to be a service entrance that I can, for deliveries and things like that, which I have surreptitiously made sure there are no cameras by. So I'm going to direct him to how to get to that without being seen by any of the cameras. Same thing with Nightingale. However, as I'm doing that, I'm going to head up the stairs, and as I do that, I'm going to turn to Maria.
Yep. So Nightingale,
I don't want to do this as Sing.
Yeah.
What I'm about to do.
It's kind of like shitting in your bed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No.
So Street and Nightingale, you've got directions to a side entrance, which doesn't have cameras on.
Yeah, I assume the 2 of us have sort of met up and we'll be making our way in, following the directions you've been given.
Yep. So you can enter. You find I presume it's going to be, is it a electronic lock?
Let's just say it's electronic. I give them the code. I can always change the code later on.
Of course.
I'll just sadly offer Morgan a smoke.
I'd just be like, it's all right. I've got a pack of 20. Do you want mine? I'll offer him.
So it's not Morgan anymore. It's
Caden. Yeah.
Caden.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah. I'll take one for later.
And I'll probably just light myself.
Heavy?
It's going quiet for now. Let's play low key. We'll follow the instructions we've been given. We'll see what happens. There's no point in tipping our hand before we need to. Right, let's go, and we'll start following the directions we've been given.
I just sort of say like half like not wanting to say it, but kind of having to say, you think our friends on the level, right? This is not like a double trap, right?
At this point in time, we've got no way of knowing. We need more information before we can work out what's going on. So at the moment, we haven't got much choice. We've got to follow the breadcrumbs.
We could be walking into something that we're the ones that are patsies.
Could be. But let's just see how things shake out.
Okay.
So do you guys go in the building?
Yep.
Do you head towards? I presume Wash, you gave them the.
Yeah, I'll direct them that I'm going to the 7th floor, but that they should probably hang back maybe on the 6th. I can direct them to like the stairwell areas. They can also, I give them a brief description of the layout of each floor. There's like a janitorial area they can always hang out in if they want to hide, that sort of thing. I give them areas they can kind of be unseen in and try to avoid as much as possible being on film. But yeah, I'm going right to the 7th floor as Maria now, though. And what I want to do is I want to attempt to see and hear as much as possible without being seen.
Right. Okay. That sounds like a roll.
That sounds like a roll to me, right? There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is something that I'm fairly decent at. So,
what stats does this game have?
I believe stealth obviously is one of them.
Yep.
So, in this case, I'd imagine it's kind of going to be stealth dex to kind of like
because you're not like you're literally doing like a physical thing.
Yeah. So it's
outside,
since I did not key this in, I don't think. Hold on a second. Because I didn't originally build my character as a stealth character.
Gonna go loud and be like, "What's up?"
I'll have to roll it in chat. Hold on one second. So that is roll.
So while you're doing that, John.
Yep.
Let me try. I'm on your sheet here. So
yes.
Let's try this. So
can you do that?
Yeah.
So okay.
You should be able to do this.
I see what you're doing. Okay. Yeah.
We'll check if this works.
And then hit the dice, right?
Yeah, it's
and then hit submit.
Normal.
Yeah, there it is. Done.
Yeah, good, wonderful. So, one success. You're not noticed, but that is because you're so well hidden that you don't hear it all that well. But you can hear basically what the night watchman is saying. The suits seem to be playing it a lower, so you're not picking up what they're saying, but the night watchman is, because he's exasperated. It's like, I don't know how many times I need to say this in different ways, but I don't have the authority nor the key to get in here right now. That is with the superintendent, and the superintendent is not in the building. So I would like to escort you back to the main entrance now, please, gentlemen. There's no need for any of this. For us to be here, the door is going to stay closed. I can't open it, even if I wanted to. Please. And you can tell he's said this like 17 times already. But
all right. Well, from my hiding spot, I think I'm gonna have to go in as Sing. If you don't hear from me in 10 minutes, room 707.
I'm gonna send back a message basically saying, give me a few moments before you move, and then I would like to use one of my embeds. Tell me if this isn't possible. It's the special someone cacophony embed that allows me to locate a particular person who meets a certain criteria, assuming I make the roll. And I want to locate the most angelically compromised mortal.
Most angelically compromised? What does that mean for us now in this situation?
I imagine basically, I think it boils down to a stigmatic, essentially, right?
Stigmatic, or someone possessed by an angel?
Oh,
yeah.
Did they do that?
It's down. I believe it's down to the GM how you interpret the criteria.
Okay, good.
But I'm if they've been flipped, they're compromised by angels. It won't pick up us because we're not mortal.
That's right.
Right. So
but I've got to make a roll anyway.
That would be here, though. Like it has, it's localized.
Yeah, it's like in the building, basically.
In the building. Yeah. Okay.
So let me just make my roll. Sorry, my roll 20's been a bit slow. So it's wits, empathy. So hopefully this should work. 2 successes.
There we go. Okay, so let's look at your thing here, because this is the first time we're using.
I've got the rolls written down, so I can tell you what it does. Let me just go to where it's the successes. Success. The demon finds a person that fits the criteria he sets out. So basically, I locate the person who most fits the criteria.
Yep. So it's the suit talking to the night watchman, who's very adamant, like basically repeating the same thing. Like, sir, We have authority. We have a warrant. We need access to this room. Please open it now. We don't have all night.
So I'm very quickly going to fire off a text, and I'll be holding it so Matthew's character who's with me can see what I'm doing, and I'll basically send it saying suit talking to watchman equals compromised, and then there'll be like a halo emoji after it.
I'll text back, then get close, but I'll try to keep this from escalating.
Yeah, I'll give the nod to Nightingale, and we'll start like heading up.
I'm going to switch back to Sing, but I'm also going to use one of my embeds, which is I want to activate Read Hostility. So that when that comes up, I can know if they're about to go ape shit on me. Yes. Boom. Why do I have a wound penalty?
Is there?
Oh, it doesn't say anything. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything. Okay, we're good.
Yeah,
I hadn't seen that before. Apologies.
Okay.
Yeah, so one success, which means that I activate it. So it remains so for the rest of the scene. I'm going to center it on myself so that like when I get into range of someone, I'll be able to it'll ping for me. And I automatically recognize harmful intent from anyone entering the scene. Any attempts at ambush or surprise automatically fail. If aggressor tries to surprise a target of this embed, so myself in this case.
Yeah, you get better initiative.
I get to basically have add my primum to initiative.
Yep.
Sweet. I like that one. That's why I picked it.
I like that the example that they give is like, so it detects intent, not danger. So I don't know if there's like a government assassin in the building next to this one, they could just blow your brains out and you.
That's fair, but I'm kind of in a rock and hard place here. I kind of
and I like that's. I just like the example that they just like completely just say that. Oh, by the way, like
it doesn't tell you shit about danger sense.
Like
it's not a danger sense so much as you can read the intent of someone in front of you.
It's like it's intensely social. Like it has no bearing on.
It's not like Spidey sense basically, but it is helpful. But it's not like. Oh my God, I'm going to be able to like avoid all danger ever. Like, exactly. It's not prescient. Yeah.
You're not going to be like Matrix dodging this thing. You're just like,
well,
oh no,
I mean, I am pretty quick.
That guy's trouble.
All right, so I'll pop. I'm gonna pop out from my hiding spot. I'm gonna stride down the hallway like I have a purpose because this is my building. As Sing.
Yep.
This is my building. So, and I will approach. I'm gonna assume I know the guard's name. We're gonna.
Yeah, so let me pull that up. So the guard is going to be Leslie Barrett.
Okay. Leslie's a man or female?
I guess he's a. I want to say he's like a young college guy, like
got it.
Doing like a night job.
Out of his depth entirely.
Yeah, no, he's just like, please let's go to the door because this isn't what they pay me for.
That's right. They pay me to watch the door.
Yeah, like that's it. And he doesn't have the key, which is true. Like you have.
That's true. He doesn't. No, I do.
Yeah.
Leslie, everything all right? And I'm going to approach and put a hand gently on his shoulder.
Thank God. And you can see him like visibly relax.
Let's take a breath. Gentlemen, how may I help you this evening? My name is Bhaskar Singh. I'm the superintendent of the Grenfell.
Yeah, the guy who's talking to Leslie like flashes a badge at you. It's a FBI badge.
Yes, that's a very, very handsome badge.
So we're from the bureau, and well, the warrant has been served.
Yes, Miss Turner did contact me.
Wonderful. I presume you're here to open the door to this apartment.
Indeed. Leslie, you can go now.
You sure?
Yes, please.
He says, hoping that you say yes.
Yes, please. Your job is to watch the door.
Okay. I'll be on my way then.
Good evening.
Yep. He leaves.
Gentlemen. Oh, no. I'm going to slowly kind of start patting myself down, looking for the key. I'll just give you a minute. As you can see, I was otherwise detained. What's this all about, gentlemen? Miss Turner was very
Well, that might be because this is an ongoing investigation. We're not at liberty to share details.
Of course. That's what the TV tells me, at least. Here we go. And I'm gonna go to the door, and I'm gonna keep a corner of my eye on the one that I was told is compromised.
Yeah, which is the guy who's talking to you. The other ones are
Yeah,
not
of
talking
course.
to you.
And I'll open the door and come in.
Okay. Yeah. So the other two get in, and the one talking to you like motions for you to like, please, after you.
Oh no, I insist.
All right then, he says, heading in. And yeah, inside, it's a standard apartment such as you have here, and it's fairly neat, which is to say, like, it doesn't really look lived in because it isn't.
It isn't. The guy's never here, and I know that. So.
Yeah, you know it. It seems that the inhabitant is quite well off, which you had sort of guessed maybe, because
most people in Grenfell are, but
they're pretty well off. So
yeah.
He's got the outward trappings of considerable wealth, such as it is, and it's fairly bland as far as that goes because he doesn't really spend time here. So there's nothing that really sticks out as like, oh, let's look at this. This is what he was doing last, because he wasn't doing anything last year.
Right, he hasn't been here in ages.
Yeah. So basically, there's a leather sofa. There's a big plasma TV. There's a coffee table with like an architecture book, like a coffee table book on there. There's a little like knitted little thing on which he has a little tea light, glass holder for a tea light, and there's an open, wonderful kitchen, which is entirely spotless as well. There's I want to say there's a sort of side table which has I want to say there's like a couple of photos of him, like he's like skydiving in one of them. And there's a couple of magazines on there, which is like Hunter's Monthly or whatever. And the dates are, ongoing. So he's clearly a subscriber.
Sure.
So he's into hunting. He's got, I think when you go, because you can just, browse around here.
Yeah,
so,
I'm taking him around and everything as well.
So the bedroom has an actual deer head mounted on the wall, like opposite the bed, so that you can see that when you wake up.
Yeah. Charming.
Yeah. There's a locked cabinet inside his sort of walk-in what do you call it?
Walk-in closet.
Yeah. So he's got his clothes there, but he also has in one corner a locked cabin, which you
looks like a gun cabinet, maybe.
Yeah, for guns. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gun cabinet.
Yeah. So that's really about it. It looks very, standard as far as that
One
goes.
of our nicer units, recently renovated, as you can see. Mr. Ryan doesn't have much taste, but beyond that, nothing untoward ever happens here. Agents, I believe is the term, right?
Well, I guess they pay you and the guy at the front desk to keep it that way, says the same guy who's been talking to you.
Oh, we run a tight ship here at the Grenfell.
No doubt. Yeah. Also looking around, one of them goes to the spots the gun cabinet and just like, well, basically because you spot him spotting it, he heads straight towards it. He starts looking at it like, oh, look, it's that kind of cabin. It's this size. How deep it is? Okay. And the lock. He doesn't say anything, but he's looking around in the walk-in closet. And there's the other two guys. One of them is basically talking to you, like that's his job.
The main one, right?
Yeah, main one, like number one, talking to you. Number two, looking at the gun closet cabin net, and the third one is looking around the rest of the stuff.
And I'm doing my best to sort of keep myself more or less positioned
Mm-hmm.
between all of them with my back maybe towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep my attention on all three of them as best I can, essentially. But obviously, they're not all in the same room and at the same time. So,
Street.
doing my best.
Okay, now, quick question. Like I say, I'm not really up on the conditions and how they work.
Yep.
Obviously, as an integrator, I've got this condition, Angel Empathy, where it says once it's resolved, you can like put yourself in the mindset of how angels work and their standard operating procedures effectively, which gives you like a bonus to evade, outwit, or sort of like learn stuff about them. Not in combat, but is it possible for me? And again, forgive me because I'm not really up on the conditions.
No.
As I'm sort of approaching, I'm like, right. What we know is, I'm assuming, right or wrong, that the person who's like angelically compromised, but we know is a mortal because that's how I detected him, is probably following sort of standard procedure. Now, as a sort of private investigator, I presume I'd sort of have a rough knowledge of how like standard law enforcement worked. So I'm hoping to combine that with what I know about standard angelic procedure, and assuming they're trying to like stop this guy from like doing his like planned attack, I'm basically trying to work out like what their standard protocol would be, what they'd sort of be doing, so that basically it probably won't have a great of effect on the game, but just so that myself and Nightingale aren't going to be sort of like taken by surprise by like any sort of stuff they do. So we'll sort of like, I'll be like, oh yeah, they're probably going to like do a search pattern throughout the place, look for anything suspicious, that sort of stuff.
So with the agenda conditions, you can trigger both of those things that are mechanical in the condition once per session, I believe. Even though, no, sorry, the experience generation can happen more than once, but if you trigger the resolution, you can no longer use the XP thing for this session. And the resolution bit, which is the one that gives you like angelic insight, you can use that once per session.
Okay.
And if you use that, you can no longer use the experience generation bit until next session.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna use the resolution bit.
Okay, so you can roll to figure out what they're doing, or is it you just get that?
Yeah, I just get like a +3 bonus to rolls to evade, outwit, persuade, or learn the Bane ban of an angel.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm basically trying to like figure it out now, so that in the future, if we have to take like any action in this scene against these people, I can potentially get a bit of a leg up by sort of anticipating what their likely response is going to be.
So, yeah, I guess let's roll for I want to say like intelligence, investigation, and your plus.
Can I just make one comment before you do this? Because again, it does affect his ability to use this. It basically the what you noted for the conditions. Basically, you get both. You can do both once per chapter. However, you have to do the beat before you do the resolution. Because once you do the resolution, you lose the chance to do the beat for the chapter, which means you don't get a chance at getting the beat for basically this session, essentially, with this condition, because it goes away until the next session, chapter, whatever.
Okay.
So it's up to you totally what you want to do, but I just wanted to point that out, because if we're going as written, then I don't want you to lose out on it.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll go with it. I'm good.
Okay.
So, intelligence investigation, you said?
Yeah.
And do I get the bonus to this, or?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that'll give me a +3 bonus, and I'm going to spend a willpower on this.
So this is because you this is insight into angelic stuff. If you hadn't pointed out one of these guys as an angelically compromised person, we wouldn't be doing this.
Yes.
But because you established, there's something going on here, we can leverage this, even if like you're not really sure of if there's even angels about, or if they're involved.
I presume willpower works as standard +3 dice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. 6 successes.
That is a massive roll.
That's an exceptional success, right?
3 10s. Yeah, that's exceptional success. So, hmm,
I smell angels.
so, like all things considered, so your presumption is that these guys are here to stop whatever this is.
Yeah, my assumption in it is they're either, because if they just wanted to like prevent anyone else from stopping him, they'd probably observe from a distance rather than like directly interacting. So my assumption is they either want to locate and like extract this person, or they want to terminate them. Because I'm going through the lens of like how I would have done it when I was an angel.
Yeah, and you are entirely correct. This is basically a black bag squad. Like if these guys manage to get Gabriel Ryan in their sights, he's going to disappear into a unmarked, unlicensed plate car and never be heard from again.
Oh, almost like the two vans, maybe, that are white and
And
Don't exist.
and depending on the well, I guess because your exceptional success here is a big factor, but also you don't have a lot of the information to make like absolute calls.
Yes.
But you have a reasonable margin that you're comfortable with for saying, because it's going to happen at a very specific time, and that's not too far away from now, like one day away. And this seems to be important because these guys wouldn't be here otherwise. There's probably an angel involved as well, somewhere along the chain here. There is going to be an angel that was put here specifically to oversee or execute this operation. You're not sure, but it seems like this would be important enough because of the time frame and because these guys are already here, that there's an angel somewhere in this scenario.
Yeah, so as we're sort of continuing up with a Nightingale, I'm going to send a text to Wash with basically like the angelic halo emoji. Then it's going to say black bag. Then it's going to just say require assistance ?
I'll casually pull my phone out, read the message, and I'll just reply heart smiley face.
I'm going to
And
that
then
means yes.
put my phone back in my pocket, and I'm going.
As you start putting it back, the three of you are hit with a wash of ether, and it's pretty strong. You can recover up to 4.
Oh,
I know that Nightingale can't get that many, but you get up to 10.
oh, wow. Okay. Well, up to 11 actually, right? We can store 11.
Yeah, you guys get the
we
whole.
max out. Oh,
Yeah, you max out.
crazy.
And
Where'd that come from? How had that? What do we know? Like, why
it's
that
very
happened,
close.
Oh,
It's very, very close to Wash.
I'm going to hazard a guess based on like previous information that some sort of angelic presence has materialized.
So the agent with the gun cabinet opens the cabinet.
oh.
It's just like.
So can I see this? Can I see
Yes,
this?
yes. As you didn't watch as you were putting the heart emoji. You start putting it back, and you're like, you're hit with like copper smell in the face like a truck, and you like turn to the side, and you see the agent open the gun cabinet. Wouldn't have the key for it.
Yeah.
With any reasonable,
Yeah. So, but he was able to open it anyway.
Yeah, he opens it.
Right. While this is going
So was it
on,
unlocked, or is he just able to open it?
It was not unlocked. You're sure of this because he tried it. He put
Yeah,
his
yeah,
fingers
yeah,
in
okay.
He
Okay.
tried it.
well,
It was locked, but he just opens it now.
whilst this is going on, because obviously we've sensed this and we're going to like double time it up there, I'm going to basically at some point sort of whilst let Nightingale pull ahead, make sure no one's looking. I'm going to change into my my Morgan cover of like the homeless old man. Then
I am going to close the door in the apartment.
So
then what my plan is at the minute is basically to get myself and Nightingale outside that apartment. Then I'm going to like very quietly ask Nightingale to like bang on the door, shouting for Drury's like cover Mr. Singh, saying, "Oh, this is outrageous, Mr. Singh. These homeless people coming in off the streets. You've got to do something about it." And then it'll like give us a reason for being there, rather than just like, "Oh, two dudes have turned up."
Sure.
Yeah,
So-
I'm gonna approach the door. Before I knock, just as I'm like in like the seconds that leads up to that, Cogmaster, I want to attempt something. I don't know if it's gonna work. But let's strap ourselves.
You rip open the gates, I presume.
It's
To
one.
hell.
It's the red button at any second now. Peace.
But Wash is like, let's take this slow, and in the corridor, it's like, breathe, surgeon.
I'll show you a death rattle. As I'm approaching, I've got a thing which I don't know if you guys know, but I've got a thing called electromagnetic linguistics. Which allows me to sometimes read communications from the airways, just from like the. So as I'm approaching, I'm just gonna sort of concentrate on that for a second and see if these agents have like any kind of like headset kind of thing going on. If it's like.
Is this an embed?
No, this is a merit.
That's a very interesting merit.
That's why I took it, mate. It's from the player's guide.
Yeah.
I was like, this is something I really want to try. This is going to be cool.
Yeah, indeed. There's.
I don't know if I have to roll for it. It just says I might have to roll to.
So,
it's on
player's guide, is it?
Yes, I can give you
Okay.
the page number 128.
Let's take a quick look.
This is just like I'm not like if it's like encrypted or something, I won't have time to do that probably. But I just want to get it. If I can hear anything from that as I approach the door.
So this can range from reading a piece of computer code to instinctively understanding what the program is intended to do, to hearing text messages. Okay, so yeah, you can pluck wireless broadcast out of the air.
So
right. Okay.
If they've got a headset on, or they're like actually speaking to each other.
Yeah. Basically, you're a living radio.
Yeah. Yeah. So you pick up Karl Orff's Dies Irae.
Yeah.
Which is playing on their the Asians have like an earbud and it's playing in there.
Just music.
Interesting.
That's weird.
Lovely choice, but
weird. That's weird.
So
that's weird. Okay. Bang, bang, bang.
Well, before that happened, I've closed the door on me and the agents and locked it. And I'm going to turn to them and looking at the gentleman who's been speaking the entire time. I believe you and I need to have a little private conversation.
Listen, if it's paperwork, I can sign that.
No. We're way past paperwork. And I'm going to use my transformation. And I'm going to do, I want to activate two things. I want to activate my wings.
Yeah.
And I want to activate my Aegis protocol, which basically, so my arm turns into a large metallic silver shield. Bulwark, yeah. My wings are metallic and vaguely silvery, but the tips are sort of almost, they look like they're like burnt or sort of been blasted. And as I do that, I'm going to attempt to disable my friends here.
Right. So first things first, we are using demonic forms for the first time. So the rules handout is here.
I feel this is a good place to do that.
Yep. So it's
and I'm swimming in Aether now. Fuck me.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. So it costs you 1 ether to assume a partial transformation, which you can use for 2 abilities because you have
that
versatile transformation thing.
Correct.
So it costs you 1 ether to do that.
That Aether real quick. Boom. And it takes 1 to deactivate it later, but
yeah, if you want to put it
that's a problem for later wash.
And also, once you've now manifested these 2, you can no longer manifest anything else. You need to put these back in before you can bring other stuff out.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Or I need to go full retard on it.
And the other thing that happens here is a compromise roll.
Right.
So
Yeah, because I guess technically they're human.
and it's always that.
Oh, because of I'm breaking reality technically,
Yeah,
right?
because
That's right. I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
thinking of other splats where it's just when there's humans around. Yeah, cool.
And
That
the
works for
human
me.
bit helps as well. Like it does help with the oh shit, what is this?
Right.
But this is the thing for compromises here.
Okay.
So
oh yeah. Where's my
the role is wits and manipulation,
need to make
and the
that a
modifier is
thing.
based on your cover. So it's wits and manipulation +1.
+1 for me.
And this is something that you cannot spend willpower on.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
reality.
basically, I need a success here, basically, just to get by.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just. We'll see if we can't replicate your. what you did
Also,
earlier.
there's some additional minuses because you are in the presence of an angel.
or
the-
an angel agent, at the very least.
The someone with a whole lot of oomph is in the gun cabinet space.
Right. Yeah. So, but we're gonna take care of these two first. Hold on a second. It's not letting me change the sheet roll from my side for whatever reason. Sarah,
so what you do is you click on the.
okay, hold on. Yeah.
Yep.
Dice roller. No, I don't want to do that. Well, that's my initiative roll if you wanted that, by the way. Shit, sheet roll. But I want to.
It's sheet.
Oh,
roll
do I have to click on?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm doing it wrong. So it was wits and what?
Wits and manipulation.
And manipulation.
Yeah, with and I'm really
I'll
sorry
get a
about
+1.
this,
Oh,
but
no
it's
+1.
It's +1 -4, so minus.
So -3. Okay, that's fine. The good thing my wits and manipulation is pretty high, so I mean, that's a 6 pool for me, so it's not bad. All right, so let me just do a -3 you said as well.
Yep.
Oh, fuck my life.
Boy.
Okay. All right. Well, that was fine. We're here. We're doing it. We're
making
making stuff happen. Now I'm gonna really wish I had just gone full demon on him. Oh well. Okay.
So this is something that I probably have some like various information floating around in my brain on account of Mummy.
Yeah.
Was the thing we played last time, and Mummy is some distance away from what we're doing right now. So I'm currently I meant to figure this out definitely before the game, but dramatic failures in, as far as I remember, first edition only happens when you're rolling a chance roll and you fail.
Right.
2E question mark?
Bear with me 1 second. So
I think you have the most up-to-date thing with your second edition World of Darkness.
Yeah.
Chronicles, rather. Sorry.
Let me just take a quick gander here. Like, so blah blah blah. Hold on. Just go to index here. Hold on. Dramatics. I have the book open, so I'm just kind of.
Yep. Okay, I'm seeing that it might be the same.
Let's see.
Oh yeah.
So I have to roll one on a chance die.
Yeah.
To get a dramatic failure.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm just failed.
Yep. Except
Basically,
in second edition things, there's options for you. So
right.
So
you could call for me to do a chance roll, I guess, or something like that if you wanted to, but
yeah, the chance roll is, I think, very, very rare unless you really are trying to swim in lava or something.
Right. Yeah. Unless you really hate your players, basically.
Unless you just want to, go. Yeah. But so that's a failure. So what we are looking at right now is the character's cover has been weakened. The God Machine or its agents have a sense for her general whereabouts or activity. So,
unfortunate.
There's the effect is lose without a cover, and choose one of the following conditions: flagged, surveilled, hunted. Alternatively, roll for a permanent glitch. And I do believe you can choose to dramatically fail instead if you want to, and you get like a XP for that.
So can I choose to dramatically fail and choose the glitch option?
Yes, and that means alternatively you may make 2 permanent glitch rolls.
Right. And so basically I only get a glitch if I fail, right? Or is it to choose the kind of glitch I get?
This is you rolling to see
if you
get
the glitch.
If you get a permanent glitch. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Twice if you choose the dramatic option.
Okay. You know what? I don't want to lose dots of cover, and I kind of want the experience. So let's just roll. Let's just roll for it. I'm feeling saucy. Let's just do it. So that's a D10.
Oh yeah, let's pull
Weird
this
glitch
up.
rolls. Oh, I forget. We had a whole conversation about this prior to this, and it's already gone out of my brain. Let me just go to the book.
All right, so you're going for the dramatic failure?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I've never done it in this system before, so let's have fun.
Yeah, we've never done anything.
There you go.
There's a difference in knowing the path and walking the path.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so glitches. Here we go. Glitches. Take the dramatic failure. So I'm going to have to roll twice. Where's the roll for it?
Okay, I'm looking at it now. So
it's a primum -2 if it would be a permanent glitch.
Yeah.
So basically I get to roll once, basically 1 die each, and I got to try
chance
to get
rolls.
Success.
We're talking chance rolls here.
I can't spend any willpower to correct it, and that's basically it.
Yeah. So chance rolls, 10s are successes, 9 to 2 failure, 1 dramatic failure.
Oh, really? So this is just basically a guaranteed.
Yeah, it's basically a minor thing. At a minimum,
like it's basically I'm better off basically not rolling because it's like guaranteed that I'm going to fail it. But all right, we'll do it. We'll do it anyway. Let's so it's 2 of them. So I'm just going to roll 2d10 and. So I rolled an 8 and a 1.
Oh boy. Okay. Let's see what we do. So the dramatic failure is no glitch occurs, but next time you roll, you add 2 dice. So it's like an accumulating effect. So next time it's going to be spicier.
Oh, okay. So next time I have to roll one of these, I have to basically subtract 2 die from it, basically, for my roll.
No, that's you add 2. Yeah, sorry, I got that backwards. So it's easier next time.
Okay. Cool.
The exceptional
that's right.
success.
It's weird. Glitches are inverse, aren't they? That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm reading it now. Yeah. Okay.
And the failure is the minor glitch. So.
Okay.
So the 10's the permanent glitch.
Right, because basically the stronger your primum, it's inverse. So basically, the more primum you have, the worse your glitching is. Basically.
Yeah.
So So actually, this is kind of a good thing in a way, kind of, sort of.
So
dramatically failing is good.
For this particular circumstance.
do we have a preference for the type? So we're looking at brands, which is physical, things on you, tells, which are behavioral, and emanations, which is basically outside of you, like projected out of you.
I like the idea of a tell. Because normally we can keep ourselves very controlled, and I like the idea of it being like a moment of weakness. Now
there's just a guy walking around with the sign saying demon.
Yeah.
I like one of the examples here, which is touch the top of doorways before entering.
Oh, I like that one. Can I go with that one?
Yeah, let's go with that one. So we can use this as one of those things where we build on it in the future, much like the cipher stuff and all that. So because this is a minor thing. Now, if you gain more severe stuff and they're also tells, we can like make it more about like entrances and gates and stuff as we progress.
Yeah, and I'm just going to mark this down. I gain an XP, but then I'm also gaining a glitch.
Yeah.
And it's a touch the doors. It's a minor one though, so it goes away after.
It doesn't go away, but it's permanent.
This is a permanent glitch.
Yeah,
got it. Okay, right.
Permanent one. But it's a minor one. So
Oh,
this-
I see the severity levels, right? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Got it.
so this is something that you like. People are gonna look at it and be like, okay.
It's like a tick. It's a
Yeah,
habit.
but it's not gonna be like you need to do the river dance before you set in come into a
But,
house. Like,
so we said must touch the top of the doorway, right?
top of the doorway before entering. Yeah. And I kind of like it that
I like that one.
It involves
It
the
works
structures.
for my character a lot, I think. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, because you're about the house. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you
All right.
your cover starts glitching because you're breaking what you're supposed to be
Sure.
in the presence of an angel.
Oh, fuck that guy.
In the arms of an angel.
I've been
so-
waiting for this moment for a year, so let's do it.
Yeah. So, what are we doing? You've got a shield, hand, and wings.
So there's two of them in the room with me right now, and the angel guy is off. in
Yeah,
the
the
basement.
angel is in
Right.
the gun.
So I just want to
area.
basically burst towards the guy who's been flapping his gums at me this whole
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
and I want to do like a sort of like a takedown, and I want to kind of just
Yeah.
grapple him, and I just want to kind of just choke him out, basically. I'm not trying to kill him. I'm just wanted to.
Yeah, you want to incapacitate him.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, let's go with that. You got the drop on him. No one's trying to throw down except you. So
Yeah. Well, I haven't figured out what's going on yet, but I have. So,
surprise, motherfucker.
yeah. Well, got to get the jump when you can. So this is a grapple roll. I will go and roll on my grapple. Let's take a quick. What did I roll? 5 successes. Oh, I believe that is very successional. Unless he rolls well, but I guess because that's a contested roll, I believe, right? Grapples.
I'm gonna say he's not gonna. He's not resistant.
He doesn't protest too much.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That works for me.
Yep. So you can do your thing.
Yeah. So I just want to basically make them unconscious. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So I think as the moment progresses,
Yeah.
you can just like grab the dude,
Mhm.
and he's oddly like composed
Right.
throughout the procedure here. Guy in like in the other room looking at you, not the angel, like, hey, and Street and Nightingale, you hear this.
Mhm.
Yeah, being a sort of hasty sort. As soon as because obviously we've been hanging about, we've been like being cool. As soon as we hear the like, hey, my plan is literally just to like kick the door open and come in, gun out, with the old gun fu fists of flying fury, because I keep forgetting what my thing's called.
Merciless gunman.
That's it. Yeah, my basic plan is to like come in with the merciless gunman, and obviously not the person that Wash is like holding, but my plan's basically to like come in, other people there.
I will say here, as this is something touched on in the book a couple of times at least. So this game doesn't have the sort of morality equivalent at all.
Yeah.
That's kind of your cover, and when it comes into play is like human morality still exists. So if your cover is not pistol max shooty face murderer esquire, you're not supposed to kill people. And
My cover's crazy old man who lives on the streets. That is all.
So I I will say basically that's like the one cover that we haven't played that we could stretch to like, oh yeah, I guess they're like
He's crazy. He's homeless. He
whacked
killed
out.
a guy.
So
I don't know. Yeah.
that's the one we can stretch. But for everyone else, like straight up murder is gonna be reality being like, wait.
It's not in my nature, and it's not in my dad's nature anyway, unless it's an angel. So basically,
so you burst
I'm fine
in
there.
and you have a thing to roll, I believe.
Yeah,
with
it's Dex firearms.
Yep.
So let me just.
So you've got one target being choked out by a partially manifested Wash.
Okay.
And what's Nightingale doing as a crazy man of the streets is kicking the door in?
No successes, so.
Ooh, what does the failure say on the embed?
I've got it written down. I'm just going to scroll down to it. It's not a dramatic failure. The gun fails to fire. However, I can make a Dex larceny roll with a penalty equal to the number of witnesses to basically holster the gun before anyone even realizes I've drawn it.
So that's such a power. So before you do that, John, I will say that you can drop it down to dramatic failure if you want for XP. Because that's a thing.
This feels like Compels and Fate, where you're getting fate points.
I do love a
I
compel.
mean, they did shop around in other
true.
games.
They did. That's true, and it's hard to resist. It is hard to resist.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. I'm not sure if I'm reading this right, but the dramatic failure on this embed sounds amazing. Because it says the first shot wounds one target, inflicting the damage rating of the gun in lethal damage, but no more. So there's only one target. So if I dramatic failure, I've still shot the guy and injured him with a pistol.
There's two you can shoot here. One being choked up by.
Yeah, but I wasn't aiming for the one who's being choked out. I was literally just popping the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I'll take the dramatic failure and take an XP.
Take your XP. So you
just come in, take some damage,
and you just go that one's being taken care of. Bang.
Yeah.
The guy
take your 3 lethal from a heavy pistol.
Yeah,
there you go.
Falls back into the bedroom and starts bleeding out, unconscious on the floor. Clearly human or equivalent. Mr. Nightingale, there's bullets about.
A lot happened there.
Yes.
Yes,
it did.
I'm just do I still knock at the door and be like,
I love to imagine I've just hoof the door open, gone in the guy's staggers back into the room. Wash is there choking out this angel. Nightingale's
well, yeah. I'm not a stone cold killer in this cover, so
I'll probably give you the nod to check the guy, because we don't know he's dead. He's just falling backwards into the other room.
And as you guys enter the room, you do notice that there's a third guy in the walk-in clothes closet, and currently holding a scoped rifle, but not like this. Holding it like this.
Oh boy.
Can I get something? Can I get anything off? I could speak, right? As I'm choking this guy out, be like, that one isn't natural.
It's probably check him up.
Okay. I'll come in. I'll close the door, nice and quiet.
Better keep the door.
We got to keep this door closed at all times.
Yeah,
this is a nice place, okay? I got to keep it clean.
Walk over to the guy with the rifle. I'm a 24-year-old, half high school educated, kind of cool music guy. I just kind of pull out a cigarette, put it in my mouth, don't light it yet. Hey man, what are you gonna do with that rifle? What's going on?
There's stark white light that turns into if you had blinds on in a window and you turn them so that the light gets in blades of light. So it turns into blades of stark white light beaming from his eyes, and then sweeps the room in classic fashion from side to side, and that is what it does in response to your thing. Do you want to do something immediate in response? Nothing you don't get burned or anything, but Are you shooting, Mr. Street? You're muted if.
No, I was just miming. I think Nightingale's just poking me in the eyes.
Yeah,
So-
I was thinking you were going in with the.
No, well, I'm assuming obviously Nightingale and
Nightingale will
Wash will
get
get to act before me because I've already acted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy.
This escalated fast.
go loud,
You
Matthew.
bet.
Go loud.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Burn your only cover.
You don't need that
Matthew.
cover, right?
Yeah,
That's the
right.
thing, guys. I'm attached to this cover. This is my life now. I just be like, I don't want no trouble with you, man. I don't want no trouble. Just like.
Okay, so you're like, whoa,
Whoa,
dude.
man. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm trying to play it off. I'm trying to play it off. But I'm just a normal 24-year-old guy. Just walked into an apartment. I can't rip a hole in reality.
Relax, guy.
Mhm. So the light goes away.
Yeah.
Seemingly, normal human face once again. Presses the rifle against its chest. Just carrying it, pressing it against itself,
Yeah.
and you get blasted with 4 ether each
Oh, right.
as it
I'm at max. I
fades
can't
from
really-
you. It dematerializes.
I presume we don't get a chance to shoot it or anything like that before it.
Bastards.
No.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So it dissipates.
Is that a good thing or? a bad
See, you
thing?
should have just summoned a gateway to hell behind him and punted him through it.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll be honest. That was kind of where I was gonna go. I was like, well,
Summon a gateway to somewhere like Sparta, kick him through it.
it doesn't say where it appears. I can
This
just
is
make it appear.
shallow.
I was like, I can make it appear below him, and he just goes yoink.
It's like some portal shit. Yeah.
The only problem is I think I have to roll to close it. That might be a problem.
But what do? You've got one person dead on the floor, one person, on the way.
Presumably he's choked out now. Right?
Yeah,
Like-
he's not present, but he's still extant.
Well, I'm not. I haven't killed him. I'm just knocking him
I'm just like,
unconscious.
Mr. Singh, why is there
I intend on interrogating him.
why is there an unconscious guy in this apartment?
You were supposed to deal with the angel in the other room. What happened?
It vanished.
So you let it get away, in other words.
I didn't. No. That's not quite how it went down, man.
Whilst this is going on, I've like my business time filters are come down, and I'm basically looking around for stuff to bundle the dead body up in, right?
Yeah,
so
so
we
you're
can get it out of the
getting,
building.
Clothing, basically.
Yes, we're going to have to clean the apartment and then take our new friend here for some questioning. I can't have an angel reporting back that there might be us here.
Wash, is there a rubbish chute in this building?
Yes, of course.
In which case, my plan's going to be bundle the body up as much as I can in rags, down the rubbish
Yes.
chute, cover it over in the dumps. And when are the bins collected?
Thursday.
In which
We
case,
should. We do not know if these are actual FBI agents or simply artifacts created by the angel for its cover. So we should probably dispose of the body more thoroughly than leaving it in the garbage of my building.
it's just the quickest way of getting it out of the building without being seen. We can pick it up
Yes,
from
that I agree.
What's the best way to dispose of a body? I'm gonna light my cigarette now.
rapidly.
Dump it in the bay, I'd imagine.
But I'm going to go through the guy's pockets before I throw him in the rubbish chute. If he's got an FBI badge or whatever, I'm having that.
Yep, there's a badge.
Also,
Take it.
just how
He's
would
got
I
a
have
gun,
stopped
I'm
them
having
from, how would I have
Yep.
stopped them from getting away? Look at me.
You
So there's a pistol each, badge.
well, I'll take one of the pistols at this point then.
Yeah.
Screw it.
You should run the badge name, see if it's a hit.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Probably something for later, though.
Indeed.
There's been a bit of a glitch with the card printer. You think maybe because it's only really the picture that's clear on the card. The rest is kind
Oh,
of
I see it.
Yes,
pixel
clearly.
mush.
Did they
Clearly,
give you
these
the-
are not necessarily really true people. More like people incorporated into this angel's cover or identity. But that doesn't stop us from being, I believe the word is fucked. Yes, I believe
Right.
that's what the humans say.
You question this,
or at least myself.
you
This
question
is where I live.
you question this person here. I'm going to go and dispose of the body, so that's one less thing for you
Well,
to
I'm
worry
going to
about.
tie him and bind him and throw him in the bathtub. Mr. Nightingale can watch him while I clean this mess up.
I was going to look to see if there's anything unusual in here apart from ourselves.
Can you do that after you secure this man in the bathtub, then?
Sure
Please?
thing, man. Sure thing.
And while they're doing that, I'm basically going to like head down to the
Yeah, and
dumpster,
I'm going to start
get the
cleaning,
body out,
get rid of blood,
dispose
Yeah.
Can we at least put some music
into
on?
the bay. You go.
No,
Yeah.
absolute silence.
Yeah, put the music on. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Raining blood.
What about secrecy? Do you not understand, Mr. Nightingale?
Is that the latest Death Rattle single?
Death rattle.
I love me some death rattle.
So, yeah, it's the sequence from John Wick where the cleaners
That's
come
actually
in
what I was thinking.
and just washing and rolling and swiping, disinfecting, and
cutting up any rug that's damaged.
Yeah. Okay, so it takes you a bit, and you've got your situation set up. I think because being aware of the time here, we're going to wrap up real soon. So let's have like you've got the situation bundled up. You think the one thing that I want Mr. Singh to have figured out somehow, the person across the corridor heard a gunshot in the night.
Tell him it was the pipes.
I think what I'll
Or a
do.
passing car.
I think how I'll handle that is. So I know who, like, what apartments in this like closest that are. So I'm just gonna knock on some doors. I'm gonna knock on all the doors in the hallway actually, and I'll talk to everyone and be like, unfortunately there was some burst pipes in the apartment 707. I hope this does not disturb you this evening. I'm just doing some repair work, and I do again apologize for the inconvenience. And I'll say that basically.
Yeah. So you go through the whole thing. Yeah. Yep.
So,
okay.
But I found out that someone had heard that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Someone approached you. Was like, so do we need to be concerned?
Do they believe me when I say what I say?
Yeah. Seemingly, they have no reason to really doubt you.
I have no reason to doubt that they believe me.
No. You think they're okay with your explanation for
Perfect.
now, at least.
Perfect. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it takes you a bit. So let's say it's like 4 a.m. You're set up the way you want it to. Well, not exactly because shit went down, but you're set up in a way that is acceptable for the moment. You're in, I presume, some other location because you don't want to stick around, maybe.
Yeah, no, we're gonna take that guy somewhere else to be interrogated. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So where is this? Where do we take John Agent?
I'm gonna imagine that as Maria, I potentially know some abandoned, like, old warehouse.
I was
or
thinking
maybe
like an IHOP.
industrial place. IHOP.
Get some pancakes, man. Get some pancakes.
Well, you get some pancakes while you interrogate someone, possibly have to torture or waterboard them and whatnot to get the information out of them.
But
Rip their brains apart just to find out what makes them, what they're made out of.
you get the right service.
You get pancakes after you torture someone, not before.
So
yeah,
I get
that's
this
what I think we would do.
South
Right?
downtown, industrial building.
Yeah.
You've got this guy in a chair, I guess.
Yeah, he's tied up. He's bound up.
Okay, what covers you two in then at this time? Because I'm
Still
well, he knows my
sing.
sings. He already knows my sing, so I'm going to stay as sing essentially. So
okay.
No sense in bringing in Maria to this unless I have to.
All right. So we're not going to do the talking to him bit because that might take a bit.
That might take a little while.
We don't. Yeah. So any last words while we're on the industrial building? We've got the guy set up. He's still out, but
Yeah, I'm just going to be. I'll return to my normal form, obviously, and I'll deduct the aether for that. Before we obviously have left.
Yeah, before you go outside.
Obviously.
Money.
So I resume my normal human form, and I am sort of doing one of these, and I'm just looking at the two of you. It's like, We really needed to have not let that angel escape.
How
That
was
is going to be trouble for me specifically.
Apologies, I assumed the Nightingale had it under control.
Perhaps maybe that was an assumption we shouldn't be making in the future about Nightingale.
Look, man, I was just gonna talk to him because, like, what? How would I stop him?
You don't sit there and talk to the enemy when they know what they possibly know.
If I'm supposed to be this guy, I've got to act like this guy.
I think just for future reference, if we go into a situation where one of our companions is already displaying their demonic form and choking someone we've identified as potentially angelically influenced out, the other person has just been shot, then perhaps sort of dealing with the remaining can be a priority over conversation with them.
Understood.
We already
I'm
have the
not
one
as-
source of information. We don't need
I'm not
three.
as new to it as you guys. Like, I just thought,
We're going to have to find that angel as soon as possible, or else I'm burnt.
So on that note, Street, you sort of figured out what this is now because you
Yep.
saw an angel.
Yep.
That's the angel's about something, and the angel took a rifle from the gun cabinet
Yep.
and went away with it.
See,
So-
I'm assuming that perhaps they're going to provide that rifle to like the for the terrorist attack for the
on the
for
radio
Gabriel to
station.
take place. It's like that's the sort of rifle he'd use if he was going to like snipe someone or assassinate somebody.
Could he be Gabriel? Could he actually be?
Could Gabriel be a patsy? We haven't even established that Gabriel is the one actually going to be attacking the building. All the message said was that a Gabriel Ryan was involved. It didn't say that he was going to be blowing up the building. It just the way it looks like right now, it could very well be that Ryan is simply a convenient fall person.
Either way,
Perhaps created for the purpose of being the fall person for this attack.
if we want to track down the escapee, probably staking out to the radio station is the next call.
Well, let's find out more from our friend here.
Yeah, so you've got 20 hours before the stated program is set to start and when the attack was set to take place.
All right. Jesus Christ.
So I suppose we're going to end up on our demons in the shady industrial building with chains hanging from the roof and
Classic World of Darkness. We're in a
the moonlight. Well, not really because it's raining. So the rain pattering on the corroded roof, and
Imagine
our
warehouse from Reservoir Dogs, but at night and raining.
yeah, and this guy in classic black suit, white shirt, black tie, and passed out on the chair with I guess like duct tape.
Yeah, he's been bound somehow. Yeah, imagine duct tape's probably what I did have actually at hand.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, you would, I guess. Yeah.
yeah, I would, wouldn't I?
Right. Yeah. So I will pick up from a friendly discussion with agent number 1 next time.
Jesus.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. That's this is going to be a learning experience, I think, for quite some time because there's a lot of things which kind of are interconnected as well. So we're going to be doing the whole dance for like, okay, I'm doing this, which means that. And
It's quite smooth, actually, given that none of us know how to play this game. So
yeah, I feel pretty good about just because we're all jumping in the first time, so I feel quite good about that. We ended up.
Okay, so thank you again. Obviously, sort of XP and whatever, but I'll wrap up the stream.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you very much for running that, Johannes. Very much enjoyed it. Great fun.
As always, yeah.
All right.
Happy to be a part of it.
Right, I'll end the stream now.
have you.